Welcome to the King Me Collective podcast. I am Dylan King, and I can't thank you enough for listening to what I have to say. This is the space that I get to ramble about all of my projects, lessons, and even my entrepreneurial ADHD ideas. My hope is to inspire you with confidence that you take action towards your goals, and let's normalize learning on the go in your designated field. Time waits for no one, and the best time to start was yesterday, so let's go. What is up, everybody? It is Dylan King. Thank you so much for listening in, looking in, whatever platform you are on. I truly appreciate it. And honestly, I hope that you, by the end of this episode, this is my first episode, get something out of this, or at least say, hey, something here is going to resonate with me, because this is episode 1. So the reason why I wanted to start this is I have quite a few little facets going on in my professional career. I always have ideas. I've been an entrepreneur for years, and I'm undergoing a rebrand. Got together with one of my friends who does social media for a living, and we were just kind of brainstorming. I started feeling like I had a lot of different things going on, but I needed a way to organize them. What's up, adult ADHDers? Holla at me. But I had so many ideas, and I felt like everything was going so good, but I wanted to get everything kind of under one umbrella, because it started almost feeling overwhelming, that I felt like I was doing a little bit of this here and a little bit of this there. And what I mean by that is I am a local licensed and insured general contractor here in the state of Louisiana. Never thought I would be a contractor. We'll get into that whole ordeal in another episode about how I got into this realm. But right now, I started off as a GC in 22. I got my license, and since then I started another LLC, partnered with one of my friends, did our first flip project, and then I have made a few different offers on homes that I wanted, or actually people approached me to see if I had interest in purchasing their homes that they no longer wanted because of just different reasons. They didn't want to go through the MLS process, whatever the stressor may have been for them to still have their property. And I did. I've made 4, maybe 5 offers. 2 or 3 of them were subject to, and then the rest were seller financing options. And they didn't work out, and that was fine. But in that time, I made another LLC to protect my, say, rentals that I was possibly getting at that point. So what I'm trying to say is, as the GC, we are D&M King General Contractor LLC. When I did our flip, we were King Me Flips. When I thought I was getting some rental properties when I was making offers, it's King Me Properties. Now, King Me, where does it come from? Why? Like, kind of sounds a little cocky, I guess, if you don't know me. But it actually started off as the hashtag for me and Missy's wedding. And Missy came up with that, actually. I thought that was, like, really clever. And after, me and Missy have been married over 10 years now. After that, we kind of just, like, I guess, let it go. And we quickly had to come up with our general contracting company's name. And I'll get into why for a second. But I am huge on branding. I love a good brand. I love good merch. And I blame part of that on having I had a gym for 9 years. It started off as a CrossFit gym. And if you've ever done CrossFit or anything like that, you're buying the gym's shirts, you're buying the gym's hats, all that stuff. So got really into branding throughout that era of our life. Me and my wife owned Flambeau Fit for 9 years. Like I said, it started off, I think the first 6 years we were a CrossFit gym. So we were all into that community in that lifestyle. And why we had to quickly pick our general construction name is because we actually I'm the qualifying partner. So in Louisiana, I don't know if it's exactly the same in other states. I'm going to assume it is, because it seems like it's the way that it's regulated. But I was the one that took the general construction test, passed. So I am the qualifying member. So I can have as many LLCs and as many GC companies as I want, as long as I am on as a member, because I'm the qualifying member that says like I've participated and passed in this regulated standardized test. So we had partners and they were not pulling their weight, which stinks. They were really good friends of ours. Our kids were friends. Like we took a few vacations together, so it was definitely a bummer and not really what I wanted. Like I'd still be partnered with these people today because like, yes, I wasn't making 100% of the profits that we are now, but at the end of the day, like they really got my foot in the door and I really appreciated that. Anyway, they were not pulling their weight. Like, I wasn't getting any help. They were supposed to be handling the jobs and I was supposed to be like the face front for the customers, handling all the paperwork, all the permitting, license, insurance, kind of all that stuff. And they were going to handle navigating the crews on site and materials on site. And I ended up doing it all. We talked to them and it kind of went radio silent. So, if I'm going to do everything, then profit-wise, like I'm going to make everything. Anyway, so we already had jobs. We were home sweet home builders at first with the other couple. And when we started moving forward, like thinking we were going to separate from the couple and create our own LLC, we really didn't have time. We were already on site at jobs. I was pulling permits for another job that we had lining up. I had estimates out there. Customers were communicating. I'm pretty sure I got all the jobs that we had estimates out for. And the reason why we were able to do it is because, yes, I was home sweet home as the company, or all four of us were, them two and me and Missy, my wife. And, we all four were, but all of these customers were actually friends, family, or referrals from those other friends, family jobs that we had gotten. So all of the initial contact was really with me directly and not the company. So I was legally allowed to keep these jobs. But because we were already in process with so many gigs going on, we did not have time to sit down and be creative and me and Missy say like, what do we want our brand to be like? When we're driving past or like we're putting yard signs up in front of houses that we're working on, big renovations, etc. We didn't have time to do that. It was, we need an LLC and we need to switch our insurance and like we have to let the state board know. We gotta like do all of this stat. So with no time to think, I was like, D&M King, general contractor, right? Dylan and Missy, like, like that was it. And we were rocking and rolling and it was fine. And I don't necessarily feel the need to change the name because obviously I did that once, which we actually dissolved that one because of the partnership, but we did that once. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of hoops and we just don't feel like going through that again. But now with our flips and eventually our properties, we ended up being like, man, we like King Me. It just resonates, like I said, it comes from our wedding day hashtag, that feels meaningful. I have to have meaning. I have to have meaning and purpose in everything I do. It drives me. Anyway, so I like the origin of it. I like the ring of it. I like that it seems catchy. And I also like that if you as a customer want my company to come in and renovate anything for you, man, I want you to feel like we gave you like a royal treat, right? Like that we changed your space and it's something that makes you feel more successful than the kitchen you used to walk into. That your new master bathroom makes you feel like luxurious. So like I also feel like it resonates with the message I want people to feel. The feeling I want people to feel when we are done their renovation. So here we are rebranding. We are now known as King Me Collective. That is going to be the hub for everything that I do professionally, but that doesn't mean we aren't going to get into some things personally because everything I do, like I said, pretty much has meaning. It's going to come with some sort of past purpose. And we're definitely going to get into some wooey stuff too because my friends know. Whether you're one of my friends, then you already know. If you're not and you're just like tuning in here, one, awesome, appreciate it, love that. But you're gonna learn I am wooey. It has to have meaning. It has to feel right. I think mindset is a huge part of any entrepreneurship. So that is rebranding. So on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and even our Facebook handle is KingMe_collective. Now on Facebook and on Google, my construction company is going to remain D&M King General Contractor LLC for the foreseeable future. Like I said, I think I don't mind having those as separate entities. GCs in Louisiana cannot have a DBA, which is a doing business as, because of like insurance purposes, etc. So we don't feel the need to rebrand that, but our handles everywhere are KingMe_collective, and I hope you give us a follow. And yeah, we're gonna be along for the ride, because I've wanted to do a podcast for quite some time. I had one small one with a friend years ago. We would kind of just talk about everything that life really had to offer. But now I've really streamlined. I know I said like I have a lot going on. That's why I'm doing this, like the construction, the flips, the properties, and even the wholesaling. I work with an awesome company. It's called Homebuyer Louisiana. It's a team of 6 people. Me and Missy were number 5 and 6 that were hired a year ago this month. So we're like actually super excited and proud of that. The team is amazing, but it's teaching me another side of like real estate realm. And before you turn this off and you say like, I'm not in the real estate realm, I'm not in the construction realm, are you an entrepreneur? Or do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you have thoughts that the career you're in now is like not going to get you where you want? Do you want a side hustle? Or do you want to see like how your mindset can change your life? How it can affect the way you think about yourself and the confidence you give yourself to walk in rooms you don't really know much about? Are you wanting to explore something new and you're scared to be the new person? You're scared to go in the room and know the least. You're scared to get into conversations with people who have been in the game of whatever you're interested in and sound like you don't know what you're doing. Well, guess what? Everyone started not knowing what the shit they were doing. I mean, I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, but that's going to be the beauty of this podcast. My goal is to not only get into stories of things that have happened and taught me lessons and lessons that I have learned, but I really want to encourage others to try new things. I want to encourage you to step into the rooms that you're nervous to step into. I want to especially normalize the fact that not knowing everything is okay, and appreciate that and realize that like we are all still learning, because industries change, standards change, codes change, economy changes, haircut design changes, what people want in fitness changes, what styles, etc. people like in construction and rehabs change, the type of loans that are out there change. You know, I love being an entrepreneur. I did hair for 10, 12 years, maybe a little bit longer, like straight out of high school. So I did hair for that long. I worked at an Aveda salon in a mall for 6 of those years. Then I worked, or 5 of those years, then I worked for the very first year, and then I went back, I think for 2 years after, to a pretty big local name here. And then after that, you know, differences, whatever. I mean, if you've left a job, you know, right? Like sometimes it's just time for a change. Left that and actually went to booth rental, which really I became my own boss at that point. I was in charge of like whatever tools I needed, what am I thinking of hair products I needed. I was in charge of my booking, I was in charge of my scheduling, I was in charge of my pricing, all this stuff. So I think that is really where I started like feeling like an entrepreneur, because before I was like, I'm a hairstylist, super customer service. I was like number 1 in like sales in the big Aveda mall that I worked at. I was always competing to get those top sales, because then you got your better commission that way. But yeah, so I feel like when I stepped out of mainstream mall and like that bigger local name I was working for, when I stepped away from that and into booth rental, where I was really like naming anything that goes, like I was my own boss. That was my step into entrepreneurship. I don't think I like super saw it that way, but you know, that's really when Instagram had just come around. So I was like learning what it was, learning what hashtags were, learning all that stuff. So I don't even think they had like Instagram stories yet. Did they have that in the beginning? I don't know. But anyway, so, I was really having to find how to market referral systems, coming up with referral systems. And then me and my wife opened up a CrossFit gym and really, really jumped into entrepreneurship. The day we were painting, I was painting the walls in the gym before we opened. Missy walked in and was like, it's positive, like I'm pregnant. And it was like, this is no longer sink or swim. Like we are at least treading this fucking water, because it's not just us anymore. Like this has to work. So we put all our eggs in that basket. I was still doing hair on the side. I actually had a spare room in the gym. It was like a garage gym, and I had one small office room with air conditioner, and I put a shampoo bowl in there and turned it to a hair salon. So when Missy was coaching, I was doing hair, or on Saturdays after we had like a 1 hour class on Saturday mornings, I would go in there and cut hair for like the rest of the afternoon on Saturdays. So the hustle has been real, y'all. But so keeping my hair to keep us, clients to keep us afloat. And honestly, I felt really bad for like even telling my clients I wasn't going to cut their hair, because they had been with me for over 10 years, a lot of them, and then we opened the gym, and that was super fun, man. We met like amazing people. We still keep in touch with a lot of those people. Our memories like are irreplaceable. Our kids grew up like just around fitness, which was amazing, and I love that. They think working out is fun, and if that's all that the gym gave to me, the fact that my kids think that working out is something fun to do, worth it, hands down. And now here I am with owning my own general contracting company. Started off with one small crew. We've turned into, a decent crew that's full-time for me, and a second crew that was part-time. And actually my secondary crew is turning into my second full-time crew, which excites me, makes me a little nervous, right? Because the thing about business, when it grows, like when we started getting coaches at our gym, when we, now we're growing into more steady jobs, so we're like, I'm having 2 full-time jobs. The pressure to keep the business continuing stays on you, right? I knew I needed to keep members at the gym to pay the coaches, because they were changing their availability at their other part-time jobs or whatever, their other careers. They were changing their availability because they gave us a certain availability on days that they could coach. So I can't turn them away on those days, because everyone relies on income, And then in turn here, like, I don't know if any of you are contractors out there, but if you don't keep your crews busy, like they can find another contractor very easily to go work for. So, I had this, I need to stay busy over here in the construction company, because one, my household needs to run, but also my crews, like they are relying on me. And now we are having a second crew jump on full time, and they have, 2 jobs, already have retainers paid, and they're lined up on the schedule. And we have others that they're in their bigger jobs, permitted addition type things. So, I know for sure we're good for like the solid remainder of 2026, but the pressure's never going to go away now, right? I love it. I think I thrive in it, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't stress me out. I'm in therapy every other week. So, and when I joined therapy, it was more for like personal, emotional reasons. And my therapist has been absolutely amazing and has really helped me through things. And at one point, we were sitting in a session kind of being like, well, I think I'm at a good stage now. Like, I think we've solved it. And I really was like, honestly, can I just stay on your books? Because with everything I have going on, like, I know business is going to ebb and flow. I know the stressors are going to ebb and flow. I know good situations are going to happen along with bad situations that are, really going to kind of make me freak out. And it's been great to just keep therapy, even though I feel like I am in a good place personally, emotionally, keep it just that way I can keep my thoughts in order and have a third party person that is not in contact with, that is not biased, right? Like it's not friends, family, it is just someone to help me organize these thoughts, feelings, and stressors that I'm going to come along with. And that's just something that we need to accept. But what we do, so we do general contracting. I started in new builds. I know that's like so random, right? Well, so I worked for my friend's gutter company, and that really kind of got me into how many layers there is to construction. I would go out, meet the customers. I've always been customer service for his gutter company. Obviously, he had been handling all the crews and the materials and stuff like that, but he didn't want to deal with the customers. So that became me. And, it taught me how many little questions I need to know. Is this structure 10 feet tall? Is it 12 feet tall? Like, is this structure 20 feet tall or is it 3 feet tall? Like, how many linear feet? Like, how many linear feet do we need a downspout? Is there a weird bow in the building where we need like an elbow on this downspout? Like, just all those little things. And then I got to be on a lot of construction sites while we were pricing out jobs for new builds being done by other contractors at the time. So kind of got into that. And when I got my license, we started a new build. We actually started with building my house. So we built my house. I kind of subbed it out myself, but I wasn't a licensed GC yet. I had another contractor put his license up. He would stop by, answer my questions if I needed, but essentially I was self-contracting it. Started here, loved it. Loved it. Man, when the sticks go up and you're there in the morning and the sticks, the studs and the framing, and it's golden in there, and the smell of it, that is just awesome. Like, I love that. That is when my imagination just starts going crazy. I love that new build process. Did that one, did one to sell, sold it, and then my in-laws actually moved next door to us and we built their house. After that, the market changed and I got really nervous. It was really hard to find a lot in building materials because it was after COVID and then also after Ida. It was within the 2-year time frame after that. It really didn't make sense to do new build for profit anymore after that. The numbers were just getting so tight. New houses were sitting on the market, etc. So we moved on to just doing renovations for customers. And we've been slammed. There was 1.5 week where I think we ended a job and we had the other job on contract, but it was during holiday time. So they just wanted us to wait. It's in 4.5 years. That's amazing. That's amazing. Super grateful for it. Very thankful for it. There's just no other way to explain it. And going from $100 and something gym memberships over here a month that ebbed and flow literally every single month to contracting money has been such a relief. And yeah, I'm not afraid to talk about money. I know a lot of people are oh, I don't want people to know how much money we make or how much money I don't make or how much things cost. I don't care. I cannot stand that people are afraid to talk about money. How do we expect people to get better at money, have a better understanding at money, and not be shy to ask questions on how they can become better with their money unless we just freaking start talking about it? And I think getting into the real estate world has helped me with that because we're talking numbers all day. And you have to be I can afford it or I can't afford it. It makes sense for me. It doesn't make sense for me. I have that down payment. I don't have it. It's making me more comfortable with talking about money. And I was already on my way to doing that as far as personal finances. But I think being in a realm where people talk about big amounts of money comfortably, not shy, not ashamed. That's the biggest thing. Because I was not raised with a lot of money. So we were also raised that the people who had big money, how nice for them, but that wasn't us. And I'm totally getting away from that mindset. So I was already on my way there, and being in rooms with genuinely kind people, not only trying to do better for themselves via real estate investing, but not being slumlords and giving their tenants homes they can drive up to when they pick up their kids from school and be proud of and be this is the home I can provide for my family, has really showed me you can be a good person, have money, and do good for others, like it can all happen. So we went from the new constructions to the renovations, which has been awesome because, like I said, with the King Me name going on, it's like I really want people to feel like we leave them better off and we leave them more confident and we leave them feeling like they're in a home that they deserve. They work hard, that they love their kitchen they get to cook in. They love the entertainment wall, like that they get to share family times with. They love the relaxing space that their master bath or master suite like has become. And working with home buyers has really shown me, it's a wholesale, right? It's a real estate wholesale company. And it gets a bad rap, not the company, but wholesaling in general, because you do have shit people out there. You have shit people being like, I'm not paying you that, like giving people like dirt money, just that way they can profit more. But the amount of deals that we have worked, and it has gotten down because of tax liens or code enforcement fines, that it has gotten down to where like we did that whole wholesaling process for $100, $1,000. There's 6 people on the team. Now I'm not saying we haven't had bigger spreads, but I'm saying it's been amazing working for this company because I feel like this is the company, especially with me speaking out loud about it, my coworkers speak out loud about it, our founder, he's awesome, speaks out loud about it all the time, because we can demyth the issues within the wholesaling industry. Now, are there still bad apples out there? There's freaking bad apples out there everywhere. But we do it with people in mind first. We do. We don't give them less than they deserve. We give them what we can. That way we can turn around and get their property sold to investors, and these investors can make their profit. So we make whatever spread we can on their price and the other price, but we're giving it to an investor who's, one, he's doing well for his family because he's going to flip it or rent it and he's going to create wealth over here, but he's also revitalizing that property, which is bringing value of the neighborhood back up, right? We're getting you're giving someone an opportunity to have a house that they can afford, that's in good condition and well taken care of, a house they can be proud of. And then over here, you're helping this person out of foreclosure. Like, you're giving them as much as you can to, one, get them out of foreclosure, get them out of these codes. We have the ability to get the attorney work done when they have issues on their title. If it's, a house they inherited with other heirs that they don't contact, we help them make contact. So we do a lot of legwork that these people feel like they don't have the resources for. We give them as much cash as we can, and look, they have to agree to it. If we give them a number they don't like, then the deal's not going to happen. So it's they have the right to tell us no. We're not forcing them, So we have all these realms going on, but it's all in real estate industry. As a contractor, it makes me better because I can say, this renovation is going to push your house above the value that's of the neighborhood around it. It is up to each person, doesn't matter. But if it's someone, I have a perfect example. I have a couple, they quoted us out last year to renovate their kitchen, their master suite, they have a weird hallway that's a laundry room, and then it has almost a utility bathroom, because it's not a guest bathroom. It's definitely almost a storage room with a bathroom in it. And they quoted us last year to renovate it, but the husband's contract was coming up at the end of the year, so they held off. Well, they re-signed the husband for his work contract here, so they're staying here another 3 to 4 years. So now they feel like the value is there to go ahead and renovate the house how they want it, because they're going to be here at least another 3 or 4 years if his contract doesn't get extended again. And now they're willing to put the money in the property, things like that, And they were able to say, if they were going to be here just to the end of 2025, then put in a 30, 40K renovation, and it doesn't really make sense for them because they're not really going to stay here and enjoy it for that long. But now they are, so now it makes sense for them. And they asked me if the neighborhood was keeping up with it, and it is, because we actually did a huge renovation 2 blocks from them. We actually quoted them at the time we were working 2 blocks around from them, and they just hit us back up, and we're starting that job soon. So anyway, welcome to the King Me Collective podcast. I'm super excited to get this going. I've been wanting to do it. I've been having so many ideas, and I just didn't know where to put it all, if anyone would care, and maybe no one will care. Maybe it's for me. Maybe this is just going to hold me accountable, to stay knowing my best, to stay as informed as I can so I don't get on here and like feel silly. But also at the same time, I am a person that if I don't know something, like I just admit I don't know it, because like I don't feel like I have to know everything. And if I care enough about it, I'll go research it and figure out that answer for myself and to share it with others. So you will find everything in one hub now to do with real estate. Like I said, I finished my first flip. We sold it in February, and I am currently under contract for my second flip, but it is my first time going to flip a wholesale property, which means we don't get like a official inspection, no proper inspections on it. You just kind of got to go in with your own eyes and your own test, do your thing. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited because I know it's going to teach me a lot, and it's going to teach me not only as an investor, but as a contractor. It's going to teach me more numbers. It's going to teach me things to expect by finding things I don't expect. So I hope that even if you're not into real estate or construction, that you find something useful in this podcast and that you get motivated to step into those rooms that you don't know, because I have only been real estate investing for like a year. Because when I did those new builds, one, it was for my house, it was for my in-laws house, and the other one that we did new build to sell, I wasn't thinking like an investor. I literally was like, I want to build my construction brand and show people that we can do new builds, and they'll hire us to do their new build dream homes. I did not think of it as real estate investing for myself. So really stepping into this mindset, it's pretty much been about a year. A little over a year. I've been like researching podcasts, books, etc. But really just about a year have I like really stepped into it, because August last year, and it's August right now, I bought our first flip with a partner. So a lot can change in 1 year, but you got to put yourself out there. You got to step into those rooms, ask the questions. Don't feel silly being like, I'm new here. I want to learn. People admire that you admit that you want to learn. No one should be saying like, I know everything. Because we don't. Markets are changing, prices are changing, styles are changing. Like I said in the beginning, things always change, so there's always something to learn. So get out there and learn it. And be on social media. Like maybe some of you are like, hell no, I'm not going to do that. And that's fine, like if that's not you. I've never been shy to be. I've done public speaking. I've done advocating, all that stuff. So I'm not shy to be here on social media, but I'm going to let people know what I'm doing, because maybe we can partner one day. Maybe you need a contractor for something one day. But like, how will I come to your mind if I'm not out here telling y'all what I do? So I'm out here to be out here, to share what I know, and to normalize that I'm still learning, and y'all are going to learn with me along the process. And I hope that inspires you to not feel like you need to know everything and to continue learning. So this is our introduction. This is what the podcast is going to be about. I'm very excited. I don't really have like an aspiration to be the biggest or the fanciest podcast. Like, this is it, y'all. This is gonna be me just talking to y'all. I'm aiming to holla at y'all once a week and just give y'all a catch up of like what's going on during this week, what happened to me in the previous week, things I've learned, and events coming up. So thanks for tuning in. Share it, like it, subscribe. And I will talk to y'all next week here on King Me Collective. Gratitude is where everything begins. So thank you again for thinking what I have to say is worthy of your time. If you'd like to find out more about what I do and keep up with what we have going on, find me at KingMe_collective on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. I am Dylan King, your host and owner of D&M King General Contractor LLC, serving the New Orleans metro area. If you found something I said useful, like, subscribe, share, comment, or don't. Either way, take care until next week and go get it.